Hey guys, welcome to another video and thanks for clicking on this one. This particular video, let's talk about what is going on as it pertains to investing, the stock market, and of course the global conflict that is ongoing. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for clicking on this one. So a few things that I would want to share with you as we get started here. Now, one of the things that I will start with is just a general overview, and I think this might be a little too much to start with. So let me pull up this here. This is something I would like to start with, and it's currently, the oil surges above $100 a barrel. Trump says small price to pay for defeating Iran. The point here is that things may not continue the way we've seen them in the market for some time, and that is something that we need to be ready for. The reality is that the volatility is increasing, and of course the market is feeling it right now. Based on the futures, we are seeing a drop in the market, and as you can see right there, 2.1% on the futures on Dow. By the way, don't forget the Dow just got to a high of 50,000 points, and now we are back to about 46,000, and of course this is likely to continue for some time. Why? Because of the volatility, the conflict, and of course it has to do with oil, and that is exactly what it says here. Dow futures tumble 800 points as US oil tops $100 a barrel to begin the week's trading. Now the reality is that the week is just starting, and we are now into the second week of this conflict. And of course, things are not headed in the right direction when it comes to either negotiations. They're not even talking at this point. So we don't know how long this will drag on for. And for that reason, we need to really consider how we invest at this point. One of the things that I wouldn't do in this market right now is, of course, to get into some call options or even put options. Personally, that's just not how I would try to play this type of market. But one thing that I am doing, which is exactly what I've shared in, I believe, my video yesterday and a couple of days ago, I shared that this is an opportunity to actually get into the market at a lower price, and that is something that I would urge anybody to do. But before we get into the talks of investing, remember, this is not financial advice. Let's look at something that happened back in 2022. And the reason why we want to talk about 2022 is because that was the time when oil prices, it was kind of this expensive. Okay, so let me show you something right now. It says oil prices surged 20% as expanding US-Israeli war with Iran cuts supplies from Mid-East. Okay. And thing it says here is a Brent, which is the crude oil. Okay, WTI hit highest levels since July 2022. Brent jumps as much as 20%. WTI surges up to 22%. Iraq cuts oil output due to Middle East conflict, and of course Kuwait declares force majeure cuts crude oil output as well. Iran names their supreme leader the son of this previous leader. The key thing that I want us to focus on is this aspect here, where we have the WTI its highest level since July 2022. If I pull up this chart here, okay, in July 2022 we have similar rise in oil, and let me just find it here, right here. Okay, if you can see this chart, what we have here is the dates from 2020. So remember COVID, going into COVID, we had a decline in demand for oil, causing oil prices to fall sharply, okay, down to a lows of around average US gasoline price, right, was literally crashed. Okay, oil prices also fell. But coming out of COVID, 2022, 2021 here, then 2022 here, oil prices continue to increase drastically, and for different reasons. Okay, in July 2022, let me show you what just a few digging in here. Why prices? No, let's see. In July 2022, global oil prices experienced a significant decline erasing much of the gains made following Russia's invasion of Ukraine earlier that year. So if we go back to that chart that I was showing you, as you can see, it was increasing and steadily increased up until, I would say, June, somewhere there. I believe this was around June, and then it started to fall, and it got to a price of around 100 and close to 120, okay, for the oil price itself, and of course started falling, and since then it's kind of, it dropped over the years. But this is the area that I want us to focus on. How did this impact the market? One thing that we know from experience and from time is that when oil prices increase, it forces the demand for goods and services to drop, because they tend to increase as well. Well, when it comes to shipping, delivery, food, all of those things would increase in price, and that would generally force demand to drop because things are more expensive. Now, the other thing that we need to think about, in addition to that, is the fact that the Fed have been in a situation where they are fighting inflation. And as we know, inflation hasn't really gotten back to 2%, even though that's been the goal. Inflation still sits around 3% or so, and we're still far from the target. Hence the reason why the Feds have slowed down reducing rates. We know that there's a new Fed coming in that is favored by the president, and his desire is for them to drop rates. But with this war that is now started and oil prices increasing, is going to put the Feds in a difficult place. And that is exactly why the stock market will continue to sell off. So the stock market, one, has a couple of reasons to continue to fall. One, we have conflict going on, but that can be somewhat manageable, okay? But in this particular situation, the fuel prices, okay, or crude oil will continue to increase because supply will go down, right? Because we don't have enough of that coming out. At least 20% of the global fuel comes from that region, and because of the Strait of Hormuz that is currently closed, that means that we won't have enough fuel globally, and that will cause prices to continue to rise. Now, in the US and generally in every aspect of the global economy, when that happens, it drives inflation higher. Now, and this is where the Fed will have a much difficult task to reduce rates. This is a difficult phase we're in. I'll be honest, I see the stock market going down further. Right now, the stock market has only dropped from the highs. It's not yet in the correction territory, right? Or a crash territory. But if this war continues to escalate and there's no form of diplomacy, things may get really worse. Okay, things may get really bad, and that is something that I just need to say. That is the reality of this situation we're in. Now, if I were to, let me pull up here. Right now, the futures, like I said, is down about 1,000 points. This is just futures. Now, here's the thing about futures that you need to understand. These are all contracts, okay? And when the market actually opens tomorrow, we will see the reality of this. Remember, the futures, there will be the pre-market in the morning, okay? And of course, the market opens. The pre-market will definitely set a stage for what is likely to transpire tomorrow. But based on these futures and what is being projected right now, I am not so optimistic about what will happen. The VIX, all right, which is the volatility index, is definitely spiking, and we can expect that to continue until there's and that's what we see here. That's the VIX, okay? We can expect that to continue for some time. As you can see, it's rising here, all right? That's the volatility index, and that is not great. When this goes up, think about it this way: when this goes up, the market is falling. When this comes down, the market is rising. So it's inverse correlation between the two. So hence the reason why when it comes to investing now, it definitely requires a long-term view. All right, I would definitely take advantage of these opportunities. And what do I mean by that? My favorite stocks, your Mark 7s, those companies that are excellent in what they do, this is the time to buy some of them. Now, I'm not going to go heavy or go like all in. No, that's not the goal here. The goal here is to just buy some, depending on how much you have to invest. Buy some, but make sure you still keep some reserves. Why? Because I believe they will come in handy. This is just the beginning, right? We have a very difficult administration, right? And the Iranians, or at least those people from that region, I believe they're not ready to also give in. So this may be a drawn out conflict that would involve different countries, and the world will feel it. Okay, and for that reason, you have to play the long game as well. So that's why I wouldn't encourage anyone to go all in or try to put all your money in thinking, oh, this is going to be short. This might not be a short-term deal. This may take a couple of months to recover, but there is an opportunity here, and the opportunity is that we are able to get in. This is an opportunity for those who have been on the sidelines, or who are trying to get into the market, or who are trying to buy these stocks at a lower price. The market is coming down, which means that the price to earnings ratio of all these companies are coming down. And when they come down, they become more valuable, right? If you look at some of the PE, or price to earnings ratio, of some of these companies, some of them were in the multiples of 40s, 60s and above, because they were just so expensive based on their previous prices. But now the market is being suppressed, making their stocks more valuable. Hence the reason why you would want to participate and get into these companies in this type of environment. But it is important and essential to have a long-term horizon, have a long-term plan. Don't go all in. Don't put all your money in. Don't put money that you will need next month or 2 months or 3 months from now. Only put in money that can stay in the market for at least a year. At least a year, okay? Long-term approach, preferably, we're talking about 3 years, 5 years, okay? But in the minimum, or at minimum, at least 1 year. Now, the last thing that I want to cover is that remember that we have 2 economic data that will come out this week. We have the CPI and I believe the initial jobless claims. All right, those 2 will be important, especially the CPI, measuring inflation, cost of goods and services and the likes. Okay, those 2 will be very important for this market and in this type of environment we're in. The inflation, or CPI, has always been one of the numbers that the Feds will look at to determine what they do with the interest rate. But with this global, conflict and increase in oil prices and what it does to inflation, whatever the CPI number comes out to be, I don't know how important it will be at this point. Okay, we shall see. That's generally, I think the CPI comes out on Wednesday, and I think the initial jobless claim to come out on Thursday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Something to look forward to, and of course, keep an eye on the market. That's generally where we find the opportunities. Okay, if you found value in this one, please don't forget to drop a like on the video. I'd love to see you in a future one.